It's Friday Eve, and it's time for Weather for Weather Geeks. It's our daily in-depth weather video for the Mahoning and Shenango Valleys, and we, of course, talk a lot about national weather stories when there are big national weather stories, and, of course, the tropics have been a big story for a few weeks now and will remain a big story, it looks like, for a few weeks. Let's start with our weather at home. We've had some waves of showers and some thunder that have rolled through over the last few hours. Some great pictures sent in of shelf clouds and even a couple of rainbows out there this evening. Head to my Instagram page to check out any of those. I've posted most of them on Twitter as well. See the Instagram symbol right down here? I'm Eric WFMJ on Instagram. As well as Twitter, if you're not following me there as well. So we've seen these come and go. We've had some pea-sized hail in a few spots, especially down in Columbiana County around East Liverpool. As we zoom out and take a look at the regional view, well, there's a few more off to our west. Light rain showers around. Boy, it's chilly out there, especially with the rain setting in. Really feels like an October evening out across the Mahoning and Shenango Valleys this evening. Now, the rain's been really nothing crazy as far as amounts go. Few hundredths of an inch on average, few higher totals up in Newton Falls, about 0.3 of an inch. Same idea in Mesopotamia over towards the Canton area. They had a big thunderstorm right around 6 p.m. that produced about 1/3 of an inch worth of rain. Here's our high-res visible satellite picture. An 8-hour loop starting at 9 this morning and taking us through 5. This, of course, focused on Hurricane Irene, which has been moving through the very warm waters of the Caribbean north of Hispaniola. That's the combined countries of Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Now, the conditions remain very favorable for Irma. There's very little wind shear in through here. The water's very warm, and soon it's going to clear Hispaniola, and the influence of the mountains there will be lessened. So the inflow into the storm will actually be a little healthier, I think, as we go into the night tonight, perhaps allowing for a minor amount of intensification. You know, from here on out, whether it's got maximum sustained winds of 175 or 180 or 165, it's splitting hairs. It's bad either way. All right, hurricane watches have been hoisted for the Florida Keys up through Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach area. Of course, evacuations are well underway. There's no doubt going to be a lot of people who ride this out, but a lot of people have been fleeing this storm in southern Florida. I think you'll see those hurricane watches become hurricane warnings by tomorrow in southern Florida, and the new hurricane watches will be hoisted up towards Daytona Beach and Melbourne and up towards Jacksonville as well. All right, impressive waves. When you have a hurricane this strong, Category 5, you're going to have enormous, enormous waves. You know, you look at the legend up here, and when you get into this kind of deep red into purple, that's at least 40 to 50-foot waves heading into the southwestern Bahamas around the Turks and Caicos this evening. All right, as far as the modeling goes, a few interesting developments over the last few days. Here's a look at the spaghetti plot. As you can see, there's actually a fair amount of ideas here amongst the models as far as a landfall location in Florida. You know, you look at the spread here, and, you know, this is a 200-mile spread in our modeling here, and that's very, very important for, you know, determining who's going to get the worst of the weather in southern Florida. The northern and eastern side of the storm as it comes north will probably be the worst sides of the storm. Interestingly, the model that's done the best so far with Irma has been the European, no surprise, and it had a very ominous looking run from earlier today, a more westward track than a lot of the modeling, taking it west of Miami and a little more aimed towards the west coast. That would put a lot of southeastern Florida right in the ugly zone as this makes landfall, and it would put into play really bad weather too, even as far north as Tampa. That's what the European model came in with earlier on today. As far as beyond Florida, the general consensus amongst the models here is to take it north to northwest through parts of Georgia into Tennessee and weakening rapidly as it does so. The current stats, 175 mile per hour sustained winds as of the 5 p.m. advisory, pressure at 922. We'll see what happens with the 8 and 11 o'clock advisories this evening. Here's the official National Hurricane Center cone, very similar to the model spread I just showed you, with the most likely track right in the middle here, heading up through Florida as a Cat 4 early in the day on Sunday, late Saturday night into Sunday morning. Chance of tropical storm force winds 40 miles per hour or above, very, very high, up to 100% in a lot of southern and eastern Florida. Chance of hurricane winds 74 mile per hour or higher. The odds right now given by the Hurricane Center up into the 60 to 70% range for the northern Keys and up into Miami as well. All right, let's start talking a little bit about down the road and impacts farther north, including for us. Here's a look. This is actually the GFS model I'm showing you here, showing the wind speeds. Landfall, of course, depicted here Sunday morning in South Florida, 114 mile per hour winds in Miami. As this keeps coming north, a lot of people around here know people that are trying to vacation or have vacationed or live in places like Hilton Head and Myrtle Beach, Ocean Isle Beach, Charleston, places like that. And this is going to be a significant storm for a lot of those places. Now, it won't be as bad as it will be for places such as Miami, but still a significant event, a hurricane or a very strong tropical storm moving through by the end of the weekend and into Monday and Monday night. Charlotte, well inland, can gust to 50 to 60 or so miles per hour. Power outages will be a big concern through here with all the rain they're going to get and these strong winds. I think there's going to be a ton of power outages across parts of inland Georgia and the Carolinas, perhaps down to Myrtle Beach as well. And then this thing really looks like it falls apart as it comes out of the Appalachians and up into the Tennessee Valley. So it'll get a little breezy around here during midweek. Nothing crazy though. And the same holds true for the rain. Tremendous amounts of rain from Florida up through parts of Georgia and the Carolinas, even parts of Tennessee. But up here, don't think the rain's going to be a big deal at all. All right, back in the short term. Couple of showers still to work their way through this evening. I think tomorrow can start with some showers as this trough, that's the dashed black line, pushes through. Despite what the model's trying to show here by Friday evening with some residual stuff, I'm leaning towards a dry forecast for high school football tomorrow evening. Might start with a little fog Saturday, but otherwise, what a great weekend we have coming up. Again, a little more like late September, early October rather than early September, but high pressure will remain firmly anchored over the Great Lakes and hardly a cloud in the sky coming up on Sunday. Chances for rain tomorrow, hour by hour, look like this. I have them highest in the morning and then a slow decrease as we get into the afternoon and the evening, and that is good news for high school football fans. Now, of course, you'll need to bundle up, but any rain, I can't totally rule out a shower or a sprinkle, 10 to 20% chance, especially during the first half of the games. Don't think any rain that would be out there would be very impactful. Probably not much more than a random sprinkle. That should be about it. All right, Penguin game day forecast for Saturday. Storm Tracker 21 weather team, the official weather forecasters for YSU Sports. And Robert Morris coming to town, 2 p.m. kickoff. And we're talking cool temperatures, but dry weather on Saturday. Tailgaters, 50s for temperatures. Kickoff temperature about 62, going for a high of about 65 towards the end of the game on Saturday. Remaining below average for the next 7 days. We should still be in the mid-70s at this time of the year, but we are not going to get there, it looks like, over the next 7 days. What about the longer range? Real quickly, here's a look at the latest European ensemble weekly forecasts showing more blue colors, below average temperatures, both on the 4 to 11 day, the 7 to 14 day, and also on the 11 to 18 day. September just isn't looking all that warm. If we're going to get a string of above average temperatures, it would have to be towards the very end of the month, I think. We'll get maybe a couple here and there, but a string of warmer than average days just doesn't seem likely until maybe the end of the month. European model showing some warmth as we head into October compared to average. So we'll see how that shakes out in future editions of Weather for Weather Geeks. Check out an update tonight as far as Irma goes, our local weather, everything else you need to know on 21 News after football. Hopefully the game doesn't go to overtime or anything like that, but we'll be on late tonight thanks to the NFL season debuting right here on 21 WFMJ. All right, have a great Thursday night, everyone.